So today I'm in my pantry, and as y'all know who have watched our videos from the past, I have a goal of getting our family to 1 year supply of food. So this year we're just moving forward with that goal and working more towards 1 year food supply. And I've been in here in the pantry working, planning, setting goals, and I just figured why not share it with you. Let me just show you what my new goal looks like for this year, building off of last year. So this year we have a lot more in our garden growing, which means that I have a lot more work ahead of me with canning and preserving food. It's a full-time job, just the canning and preserving food aspect of the garden and the fruit trees. So just planting the fruit trees and planting the garden is one thing, but then actually having the time to put all of that food away so it doesn't go to waste is a whole nother aspect. So this year, my goal is we're in the process of reorganizing this wall. The goal being that this wall will be a wall of canned goods. I believe that ultimately it will hold 1,400 quarts of canned goods. And you might think that seems like a lot, but I encourage you to go on to ezprepping.com. It's the letters E and then Z, prepping.com. And on there you'll find a food storage calculator. You can put in how many people are in your family, and it goes by ages, and it just takes like 2 seconds to do. And then you hit calculate, and it will break down every single food group for you, including water and everything. And it will tell you how much canned goods, how much dry goods, how much meats. And although it's not a hard and fast number, every family is going to be different. Obviously, we have food groups on there that we don't eat. We have food groups on there that we eat way more of than what they accommodated for. So every family is going to be different, but go onto ezprepping.com, do your calculations. My calculations came back that for a year's supply of just fruits and vegetables for our size family, I would need to can 2,080 quarts of just fruits and vegetables. That's not including, they were saying, to dry or dehydrate another 560 pounds of dried food. So fruits and vegetables. So anyway, 1,400 quarts might not happen this year, but it's a start to just visually see it and have a place for it. And for those of you who don't know, this used to be a spare bedroom, and I converted it into a walk-in pantry / it serves as my son's office for his YouTube channel. So so you might not have a basement or a big huge pantry, but maybe you actually have an extra room in the house, a guest bedroom that would serve as a walk-in pantry. And if you do, I encourage you to use your space and double it. We could put in here a bed, you know, for a guest bedroom, and then they would just be sleeping in the pantry. I mean, it's a little like farmhouse chic. So anyway, let me just get on with it and show you what we have going on here. So this is going to be a goal of getting this filled up in the next year with food, all canned food from our garden. And then on this side of the pantry, this is going to be all of our dried shelf stable goods, and how I'm envisioning that to be, and it's a process as I replan and organize. It comes clearer, the vision becomes clearer, and I can see things more clearly, but you'll have to follow us along to see how it looks at the end of the year, so it'll be interesting. But I got these big Gamma Seal lid containers. They're actually on sale. You can get them at Tractor Supply, or Sam's Club has them, Amazon has them. But right now, if you have a friend who has a Sam's Club membership, you can have them shipped right to your house for free. And they are $24, and they hold 100 pounds of dry food. It's advertised as 60 pounds of dry food is what it's advertised as, but you are able to fit a lot more in there if you so choose to do that. So I really like these. They're BPA free and they hold 100 pounds of food. So for me to put that amount of food away is amazing, and to be able to easily access it. There's a place for storage buckets and Mylar bags and all of that. We've done that in the past, but right now in the season of life that we're in, this is very nice and easy to manage and access. You have to be able to put food away, but also to manage it. And on that easy prepping, if you go onto there, it's going to give you a list of all of your dry goods too, a total amount of pounds of dry food that you'll need to put away for. You can do 2 weeks, you can do a month, you can do any time period that you want to do on it. I just put in for a year, and then it'll break that down into like how many pounds of beans, how many pounds of lentils they recommend, rice, all the different things. So we're going to be using these type containers all along the bottom here. It's going to take a little bit of reconfiguring, and we're going to be putting all of them along here. In them will be our oats, our rice, our flour, and then moving up here to the second row, I'm going to be going back and using these Iris totes. These come with wheels on them too, which is very handy if you want to wheel them around. I forgot to mention, you can also get these storage containers that I'm showing you also on Chewy.com, the dog food company. And like I said, they are BPA free. And I just wipe them out inside with a soapy washcloth when I get them. And then like these here, I'm just airing them out for a couple days after I clean them out. Make sure they're totally dry before you put your dry goods in there, and that they're all aired out so you won't have that plasticky smell with your food. But they are food grade. In these totes here, they hold 30 pounds of food. I'm going to be doing my coffee, as you can see there. Beans, lentils, different things like that will be up here on this middle section in the bigger containers. And then moving up, you can see here we have some of our dry goods here. The quinoa, this is what's left over from last year, guys. So this is all I have left over of chickpeas. This is all we have left over of quinoa. This is all that we have left over of, it's just lentils, a couple different color lentils and some split peas. And then here is what's left over of my dehydrated vegetable blend that I got on Amazon. So moving forward, what I would like to have a goal is to move up from this size of these dry goods to 30 pounds of these dry goods and have them lined up right here so they're easy to access. Moving over here, I have all of our baked goods. We've done pretty well with our baking ingredients for the past year, so that worked out fairly well. Over here, I just have a few more baking ingredients. These containers are great. This is the coconut oil containers. I encourage you, if you can get a good container, save it, because containers cost money. So we use this to store our chocolate chips, because those little bags that the chocolate chips come in don't really, they're not pest resistant like this would be, so that's good. Popcorn, I definitely would like to bulk up and get up to 30 pounds of popcorn. Also our nuts and seeds and things like that, mostly I've learned to store that stuff in the freezer because it just keeps it longer, and you know that it's not going to go bad. So moving over here, I just have all of our seasonings, and you can see from last year we still have plenty. The only thing that I had to order more of was just some onion powder and some garlic powder, but that worked out pretty well. And then the other thing that I'm working towards this year of storing is storing and making. I would like to make our own barbecue sauce, our own teriyaki sauce, our own salsa, ketchup, salad dressing we're already making, but I would like to really be able to can all of that stuff here and have it all put away and not have to buy that store-bought. But I know that I have I know it sounds funny, but there is going to be limited space with the canning too. So I'm going to have to prioritize how much space I have as the year rolls on, and I might end up having to buy the store-bought. I'm not sure. If you go into the easy prepping, another area that they talk about, of course, is your sweeteners that you use, and they recommend a certain amount based on your family size for them, and also your fats, which they recommended peanut butter and your oils, any oils that your family uses, which we use predominantly coconut oil here. So it was just really, really encouraging to see that number of recommendation, and then it's not just a number that I'm picking out of my head, just a number off the top of my head. It's like, no, somebody's actually taken the time and did all the work with the numbers, and then I can tweak it, but at least it's a goal to work towards. Anyway, so here's our peanut butter, and here's a little bit of our coconut oil. And what I have found to do in the past is that I'll go to Aldi's, if you have another bulk food supply near you, and just go in and get a whole case. You know, if this month it's going to be, I'm going to grab a whole case or two of peanut butter, or a whole case or two of string beans, or whatever it is, and I'm just gonna get that and then check that off my list and put it into our pantry. That's just a really good thing to do. So that's kind of what I'm getting back into the swing of doing as well, is bulk ordering our shelf stable goods, so that way we have them. So of course over there we have our Garden of Life meal replacement powder, and we just consider that as a preventative measure for our family. It's an all-in-one meal replacement. The kids use it almost every day in smoothies, and also we have our organic super greens food, and I use that at least twice a day, just as a drink. And I also put it in the kids' smoothies, and it's just great to have it. What my goal of my pantry is to be very precise in what I'm preparing for our family, picking the most nutrient dense foods and storing them, and being very purposeful. So when I look over here at my canning section, what I'm envisioning here is one whole shelf of canned meats and bone broth, whether that's beef bone broth or that's chicken bone broth. We're also going to be processing a lot of our birds coming up this fall, ducks, chickens, maybe some turkeys, Lord willing. And then moving forward probably into the next year, we might have some sheep that we want to process. So doing some processing and filling this up with meats and broths. And then moving over here to the second one, what I like to see on this one is all of our vegetables. And when I'm doing vegetables, I'm thinking nutrient dense vegetables that we are growing here on the farm. Immediately what comes to my mind is greens. So canning up all of our string beans, canning up our kale and our collard greens. That's going to be awesome nutrition when we need it, getting us through the fall and winter. And then moving down here, our potatoes. We have been harvesting. We did our first harvest of potatoes the other day, and these are just some of the little baby ones that I brought in. But there's a whole bunch out in the shop, and there's a lot more that we have to harvest. So I'm thinking of doing some canned potatoes, just for those times that it's just more easy and convenient to grab the potatoes off the shelf. So moving over here, this will be all fruits. So when I say fruits, it's going to be our apples, our pears, our figs. We're going to have a ton of elderberry cuttings to share with the community. And then over here, this last one is probably going to be canned potatoes, and then also like salsa, jams. If I get into making the sauces like barbecue sauce, ketchup, anything like that, pickles, like anything extra type stuff like our pear butter, Lots of things that you could spread on toast. I'm gonna make a sweet onion jam thanks to Rachel over at that 1870s homestead. I'm really excited. I got my onions all done. I'm like ready to do that up today and get that sweet onion jam canned up, so that'll be cool. So that'll be like, that shelf will just be the extras. So even though it seems like a lot to me, little by little, bit by bit, I think I'm gonna work towards getting it filled up, and I'll bring y'all along on the journey while we do that. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I guess we'll meet back here in the pantry sometime soon. Bye, y'all.